Oops.
Whoops. Hi guys, welcome back to Clumsy Cakes. My name's Amy. So today on the channel we're going to be making some hot chocolate bombs. These things have been blowing up everywhere on the internet and I didn't want to miss out on the fun. To get started, I'm just chopping up my semi-sweet chocolate chips pretty fine, not to a dust, but just to some fine shavings. And the reason for this is that we're going to be tempering our chocolate. And we're going to be doing this in the microwave, nothing fancy or too difficult. We're just going to be putting it into a plastic bowl because metal or glass bowls hold onto heat. We want to keep this under 90 degrees and it's pretty easy to go over. And if we go over, that ruins the temper and our chocolate bombs are not going to be shiny and they're not going to come out of the mold, which kind of ruins them. A lot of people, when they're making hot chocolate bombs, will use candy melts, but I personally don't really like the taste of those very much, so we're gonna go with this. It's a little bit more difficult, but it is definitely well worth it. So now we're just gonna gently melt this chocolate. This is what it looks like after 30 seconds in the microwave. We're gonna be doing that for the first initial melting, and then after that 15-second intervals, stirring in between. This is going to take time, and it's gonna look like it's not melting at first, but trust me, it is. We're just melting our chocolate pretty slowly and gently to make sure that we don't go above that 90 degrees. And again, if we go above that 90 degrees, we have ruined the temper and it's not going to work for hot chocolate bombs. Really, the temperature is 93 degrees. Just to be on the safe side, stay below 90. Because if you go a little bit above 90, like 91, you're still fine. And as you can see, I'm using a thermometer just to make sure that I'm staying below 90 degrees. You can use any type of kitchen thermometer for this. You can use an infrared gun, or you can use something even as simple as a meat thermometer. That's what I'm using here actually. My candy thermometer broke. In here, it's pretty much all melted and ready, but I'm gonna put it into the microwave one more time for one more 15-second interval because you can't really see it on camera, but it's a little bit thick and it's gonna be a little bit difficult to paint it into my molds, so I'm gonna just heat it up one more time. So what I did with these molds first is I just took a paper towel that was dry and just wiped in each of the divots to make sure that no water or oil or anything like that was in there. Water is the enemy of chocolate. If there is any little bit of water in there from washing this mold or anything like that, it will make our chocolate seize and then it's not going to come out of the mold very well, and that's going to be frustrating, and I don't want you guys to be frustrated. This is the holidays, this is a good time of year, and chocolate should never make you cry. It should make you happy. So now we're just taking a spoon and dolloping a spoonful of chocolate into each mold, and then just taking a pastry brush or even a paintbrush, any type of brush you would like, and just painting that in. If you're using a paintbrush, obviously you want to make sure that that paintbrush is just for baking. You don't want to be, painting a masterpiece and then coming in and painting chocolate. That doesn't work very well. Chocolate is delicious and can cover up a world of hurt, but paint and chocolate is not a good mixture. After you get that chocolate distributed evenly into each of the molds, you're just going to put that mold into the fridge for about 5 minutes to set. I put a baking tray under my mold. These silicone molds can really be a blessing and a curse. They're really easy to clean, really easy to work with, but they're just flimsy. So you really want something under it to just make sure nothing gets crushed. Now we're just going to do a second coat of chocolate the same way we did the first. For this second coat, you want to just make sure that you get any spots that you may have missed. And you really want to make sure that you build up the sides. If the sides are kind of jagged and thin, the two sides of the sphere aren't really going to fit together very well, and it's going to be kind of frustrating to attach them. So just make sure that you get them pretty even. And after you have that done, you're just going to put them back into the fridge for about 5 minutes for that layer to set as well. While that's sitting in the fridge, we're just going to get our toppings ready, or our filling that's going to go into our hot chocolate bombs, whatever you want to call it. Now, the best thing to use would be some mini marshmallows, but I didn't have any, so what I'm doing is I'm taking 3 big marshmallows and then just cutting them into 6 mini marshmallows each. We're going to crush 2 candy canes in a bag. And then make up a simple hot chocolate mix that is just 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder and then 1/4 of a cup of sugar. And then stir that together, and that's it. Now you can just ever so gently take your chocolates out of the mold. What I like to do is gently tug on the mold so that the chocolate pulls away from the sides just a little bit. And then what I can do is gently push the chocolate up from the bottom. Now we're just going to fill up 1/2 of the sphere, about 3/4 of the way, with our hot cocoa mix. And then a teaspoon of Nutella in each hot cocoa bomb. And then on top of that goes a sprinkling of our crushed up candy cane. And then some of our marshmallows. As many or as little as you would like. And now you're just going to take some of your melted chocolate and put some on the side of each of your spheres. And then sandwich the two together and then put more melted chocolate to cover the seam where the two meet. This can get kind of tricky, but just do the best you can. A lot of people will dip the ball into some sprinkles to hide that seam. I elected to not do that because I just didn't want sprinkles floating in my drink after this ball melts. But it's totally up to you if you wanted to do that. I just smoothed out the chocolate as best as I could. So now let's see this hot cocoa bomb in action, shall we? What I did is I heated up 6 ounces of heavy cream and 6 ounces of skim milk to a simmer. You don't want it to boil because milk can scald pretty easily. So you just want to drizzle that over the hot cocoa bomb. And there you go. See the little bubbles on there? It's just starting to kind of open up. And you can wait for all of that stuff to come out, or you can speed up the process a little bit by stirring it around. And this is literally one of the best hot cocos I think I have ever had. It is so good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like down below. And leave me any suggestion for what you would like to see next. And subscribe to the channel to make more messes with me. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!